After proving that a fairness equilibrium exists in which both players defect, we now want to tackle the second question and ask whether there also exists a fairness equilibrium in which both players cooperate. The approach is, as before, we assume that such an equilibrium exists and then check for deviation incentives. And we take our 4-step to-do list and begin with checking the material payoffs. Let's look at our own material payoff. If the other player is cooperating and we are defecting, in this case, we get 6x. If the other player is cooperating and we are also cooperating, then our payment is 4x. So here we already checked the material payoffs and can proceed with the second step. In the second step, we want to determine the other player's kindness. And here we check the other player's kindness when we are defecting and when we are cooperating and the other player is cooperating. If we are defecting and the other player is cooperating, we already saw that our payoff is 6x. The highest payoff we can get is 6x, and the lowest payoff we can get when we are defecting is x. So the equitable payoff for us is just the average of these two payoffs, which is 3.5x, which means the other guy, if we are defecting and the other one is cooperating, then the other one is behaving kindly. Now we check for the case in which we are also cooperating. If we are cooperating and the other one is cooperating, we get 4x, which is also the highest payment we can get if we are cooperating. The lowest payment we can get if we are cooperating is just 0. So the average of these two outcomes, of these two payments, is 2x. Calculating it, we get 1/2, which means when the other player anticipates that we are cooperating and is choosing to cooperate, then the other one is behaving kindly towards us. In the third step, we want to determine our own kindness. For this, we have to look at the other player's payoffs. We start with a case in which the other one is cooperating and we are defecting. If we are defecting and the other one is cooperating, the other one will get a payment of 0. The highest payment the other one could get if he is cooperating is 4x, and the lowest is 0. So the equitable payment is just 2x. Again, calculating it, we get -1/2, so unkind. So this means if we know that the other one is cooperating and we decide to defect, then we are behaving unkindly. Let's finally check the case in which we both cooperate. When we both cooperate, the payment of the other is 4x. The highest payment the other one could get is also 4x. The lowest payment the other one could get is 0. So the average of these payments is just 2x, which implies that this expression is equal to 1/2, which means the behavior is kind. So here we see if we assume that the other one is behaving kindly, by playing cooperate, and we are also cooperating, then we are behaving kindly towards the other. In the fourth step, we will compare the utilities as we've done before. So first, we start with the case when player 2 cooperates and we are defecting. In this case, we get a material payoff of 6x. The other one is behaving nicely towards us, but we are behaving unkindly towards the other, which results in a utility for us of 6x plus 1 over 4. If the other player cooperates and we are also cooperating, then our utility is given by this expression. So we have a material payoff of 4x. We are behaving nicely or kindly, and the other one is behaving kindly. So in this case, the total utility is given by 4x plus 3 over 4. And what you can see here is that there is a fairness equilibrium in which both players cooperate if x is smaller or equal to 1 over 4. So what you can see here, if you do the math, is if x is growing, it becomes more attractive to deviate, because from deviation you can increase the material payoff. However, the psychological payoff is larger in the case where we both cooperate. So here is a trade-off between material payoffs and fairness payoffs in some sense. And if the material payoffs are not too large, then there exists an equilibrium in which we both want to cooperate. So intention-based models can explain a fairness cooperation outcome in the prisoner's dilemma.